goes on to say these cases that held carry rules, okay? And it says are subject to intermediate scrutiny under the First Amendment, but can be valid if they serve a substantial government interest and are narrowly tailored. Okay, so what this shows is that regulator requirements must follow a legal standard and framework. If pressure is exerted outside or beyond legal authority, it could violate constitutional norms.
Wait a minute.
Right, but
did the Biden administration unfairly pressure media outlets in an extrajudicial fashion to control narratives?
Is this about to be a COVID thing?
No.
Are you referring to the White House sending like memos to?
I'm referring to the Biden laptop story. I'm referring to Twitter.
Okay.
I'm referring to all the pressure that came from the Biden administration to control narratives in an extrajudicial fashion.
On what narratives were they pressuring broadcasters?
The Biden laptop story was one of them. There was a couple of different circumstances. What I'm getting at here is the right-leaning.
If they did, I think it should.
Good, I figured you would take that stance. I figured you would take that stance. The position that I'm arguing here is a lot of the right-leaning individuals in this room will happily jump on that train and say, yes, that was inappropriate, shouldn't have happened, they lied about it, they colluded, they used government pressure to control the narrative, they made these companies feel that pressure, and Twitter wasn't out here screaming the government's stepping on my neck, because that's not when the government's stepping on your neck. You go, I'm a good boy, I'll play nice. So this idea that it was completely possible for the Biden administration to exact this sort of power, but the Trump administration just never would. That's not possible. What says they doing it for the customers? They were just doing it for the customers is preposterous.
It says that even the FCC expressed displeasure, and this alone doesn't legally permit them to coerce content removal, and there must be some breach of law, indecency, or defamation, or regulated act.
When the system
also, in the U.S. law, political speech and criticism are highly protected governmental pushbacks. They must respect constitutional limits.
Yeah, this simply supposes that they aren't willing to act in an extrajudicial fashion, which we already know that. Biden could do it, but Trump would never, right? It's silly.
I just wanted to say.
I hate that I low-key sometimes respect Stilgar.
I mean, it was already like gold.
Stilgar is no. Other than that,
I'll be real quick.
No, Stilgar has. He's balanced. He's a balanced.
Stilgar is somewhat American. He's not the
I thought he was Canadian.
Oh,
no,
that explains it. Never mind.
Brendan Carr in an interview on Fox.
I am definitely not Canadian. How dare you?
Also stated.
It's a behalf of Drake.
Also,
It's from the greatest state in this union.
Wait, can you let Tim speak?
Oh, my fault. I didn't hear you, Tim. My bad.
in that same
No, I'm in the mate.
where a lot of these quotes come from, he also said they're looking at the view next. So to act like they're not preemptively going after people is ridiculous. He already stated they're going after specifically the view next. So let's stop pretending like when the president or someone high up says something just because it's not on paper that isn't pressure from them. It is. But
yes.
Like I said, go watch the interview. He already talked about they're going after the view next, so we'll see what happens.
The other part nobody's talking about is like
their argument that he didn't officially put pressure on them, so it's not him like really like dictating something.
No, this whole thing screams optics to me because we don't even know who wrote that joke. Do we think Jimmy Kimmel was in the writer's room every single day before every single show? So this idea that he goes down as the figurehead of the organization kind of proves to the point that this is more of a symbolic maneuver than it is like actually getting justice for whomever did the social faux pas.
Ultimately, the person
But he stood on with these types of.
it doesn't
I'd
matter.
like to get in there at some point.
Yeah, sure. In the same way that Amy Schumer was responsible for joke theft, even if she didn't write the joke theft. I get it. But the fact of the matter is like when this comes down to like this whole thing screams useful idiots to me.
It was like a governmental like
I don't want to have to raise
Very useful idiots.
I know my voice is soft, and these heavier voices don't usually prevail. But the fact of the matter is, he did deliver the joke. But what the irony is that this is an issue that Charlie died for.
And I do not hope
for better world for our Second Amendment rights. but now we're being censored.
First Amendment. First Amendment.
First Amendment. Thank you, love. And I should know better. And I'm not even gonna say why because I'm ashamed now. No, but he died for our First Amendment rights, and now everybody's being censored, and that's the irony of the whole situation.
She died for our First Amendment rights is crazy.
Not really, you know what I mean.
She's using their dumb logic against them. You know what's fair like that. They do it like that. We get the point.
Thank you.
The fact of the matter is people who I've heard be vocal about the Biden situation are now in here defending Trump's behavior, and that's the issue. Is if you take the stance of it's bad when they do it and it's okay when we do it, you're an ideologue, you're a puppet, and you've been captured, and I think you deserve to fall off.
And you're a cancer to America.
Ashley belongs in every programming camp. Samoa belongs in every programming camp. We need mandatory civics in the school because many of you Americans are actually not American at all. You're enemies to the very principles that most of us live off of. Every single one of us benefit from the fact that our ancestors understood their rights and made sacrifices to keep them here for us. And you motherfuckers are in here bootlicking ours in the mother efforts and subjecting your own faith to the will of the government. You are not American. So you need to be deported. Actually, it's
I'm a Chinese.
America and what it stands. American.
I'm a Japanese.
Doctor, now you're sounding like a fascist with all of this kind of like mandated rhetoric. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, go with it.
No, I'm kidding.
Fascism again. I want to make sure you get it this time.
No. Wait, what do you mean this time? No, fascism is like a regime that has no principles outside of some authoritarian framework from a nationalistic establishment.
And if the individual for the power of the state. The individual doesn't.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's fascism. Samoa's the fascist and so's Ashley. Ashley's a fucking fascist.
Wait, who's a fascist?
So agree. Ashley is a fucking fascist. So is Samoa. No, ironically, not even just to throw shots. If you're okay with the regime, if you keep providing apologia for like some of these things that we're seeing, you're just a fascist. And it's not like it's not hyperbole. It's not like, let's be in like you're actually. This is what happened in 1935 Germany.
Fascist.
And a lot of these.
Did you have that attitude during COVID?
Yes.
Like I will bring up COVID.
Yes.
Did you have that attitude during COVID?
Yes, I did. I'm not like you.
The Twitter file.
Actually, I told you yes. Yes, when the government is suppressing you took your COVID vaccine. That's always bad. It's bad when Obama does it. It's bad when
Obama's a war criminal.
It's bad when anyone does it. And
he is a war
none of those
He is a fucking war criminal. He's horrible.
What's happening right now? What just happened to Jimmy Kimmel is good. This is unprecedented government overreach.
Yes, doctor. Yes. Yep.
Like, so you keep bringing up lesser versions of the thing, which we also don't support. Many of us in here did not feel we needed to mandate COVID vaccines for dummy yokels in shithole podunk towns.
Oh, I'm not talking about the
COVID.
vaccines. I'm not talking vaccines. I'm talking about the suppression of things on Twitter and all of that.
You would have
What's
to
suppression? What do you think is happening right now? That's why we're talking about.
I understand your point. Many liberals, literally, because the Biden administration hit it, when we found out they're pressuring Twitter to censor certain individuals, we didn't go, you should censor them from the government.
Hold on. Actually, hold on.
Okay.
I have a question. Ashley, what amount, if you can prove 100% of Dr. Articulate's hypocrisy, if there is any to be proven, justifies your own?
Sorry, I'm also in the middle of grocery shopping.
What do you got for asking?
Can you repeat that?
The question is if you are 100% certain that Dr. Articulate is being hypocritical about his stance, and he's saying that this Jimmy Kimmel thing is wrong, but any COVID misinformation was okay, whatever the case might be, nothing about his stance on this matter should change your stance on the matter. The fact of the matter is, this should come from internal principles, and if you believe in fairness and justice and freedom and the First Amendment of the Constitution, what's happening to Jimmy Kimmel should not be happening, and you should feel that way regardless as to how you prove Dr. Articulate feels about it.
This presumes
you
that
can
there are
prove,
internal
like, yeah, I'll
rules
stand-
to the bar. That doesn't
I will
exist.
stand with you if you can prove that the government had a hand in it. If you can actually prove it.
We already did. The president, your
We talked about
executive. This already happened. The president of the United States said they should lose licenses. The president of the United States, upon winning the election, said Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert need to be removed from television. And then his self-appointed FCC chair co-signed this by making multiple public statements saying he would go after people who said anything he didn't like about Charlie Kirk, and then people who are subject to their own authority therefore followed those public statements and punished Jimmy Kimmel for making a throwaway joke about Charlie Kirk.
And he affiliates to the ABC, therefore dropped him. Yep, that's what
Did he make any moves to do so, or was he sharing an opinion? And can you prove it?
Ashley, what are you talking about?
I mean, other than the president saying they should, did he make any legal moves in order to do
Are
it?
you kidding? Did you listen to anything I said, Ashley? You're just
Yes,
you can't
I
waste
did.
your time with nothing.
I
You're
did.
downplaying
I
what he
heard
said.
You're downplaying the weight of what he said, Ashley. I don't understand how you
We
could do
can't
that.
do this. But the CEO, seriously, as American citizens, we can't do what we've done for the past 5 years and be clenching our fists and raking our brains to convince fascists what the country is about. Ashley doesn't want America. She doesn't like this country. She doesn't want it to be an American country anymore. We hate her like an enemy. We don't have to debate her. She doesn't want to be living in a democracy. Neither does Samoa. So we as Americans who want a democracy have to build with each other. Ashley has stated the country she wants to live in: an asymmetrical, authoritative government that
asymmetrical.
that punishes people for individuality.
Rooms are recorded because I will be reminding people. I will be reminding people when it's the other side. I will be reminding people of this very argument.
She's 10 years of
I will be.
We've had 10 years.
You're not American.
There is a re-education that
She's a
needs to happen,
mouse
though,
Karen.
anyway.
This isn't education. This isn't how you educate people. Education requires a willingness to learn. She is a mouse Karen. She doesn't want to learn. The problem with fascism is it wins by exhausting people and making them feel gaslit on things they know to be true. It uses sarcasm and jokes where they say outlandish things and then they rely on our sensibility to be like, nah, they didn't really mean that. She means this shit. She's a fucking fascist.
That's facts.
Okay, I'll remember this when it's your side. When it's back to being our side getting canceled.
Yes,
for things and private companies dismissing people. I'll remember this. I'll remember it.
Wait, Ashley, do you think it was okay?
Let's hold on, guys, real quick. Guys, 1 second, real quick. Let's be adults here, listener. If the government placed 2 kilos of cocaine on your doorstep.
If I was a 20-year-old man,
I'm talking. No, stop, man. Stop adding variables to this shit. I'm asking you right now, listener. This is what I'm talking about, man. You guys can't be fucking honest. If the CIA right now were to put 2 kilos of crack cocaine on your doorstep, would you reject it or would you accept it?
Get that crack cocaine. I would fucking bag that shit up and I would get that cash. I'm not gonna lie to you. No, let's why would he sell it? So listen, if that's the case, who's responsible for that outcome? Fucking CIA that dumped the crack in my door. No, it's not exactly. You have a choice. Listen, no. This is the stupid shit about it. Listen, we got you. Listen. That's the difference between me and you and a lot of us. If they issue,
I think it's probably I'm not going to sit here and play the game that I'm going to be complicit in destroying my community because somebody else wants to. That's stupid as fuck.
It's a fallacy of low expectation. So listener, at least he is consistent, right? So what he just illustrated is that he has no agency. He does whatever the environment tells him to do. He doesn't fight. He doesn't have any core values that he's sustaining or trying to sustain in his community. He does whatever comes his way. Now, if there are a lot of people who do that, that's fair. Right, but there are also people who don't want to do it. And those people who don't want to do it, they get the hell out of that environment. They change their environment. If they cannot do it locally, they move out. They change their geography. But there are people with agencies. I mean, that might be news to you, listener, but there are people with agency.
Yeah, I guess I just want to say, I think
Thank you. What's your name? Andre. Thank you very much.
I think what he said was interesting.
Yeah, so again, listener, the point is that we acknowledge the fact that the government, and it's government, man, government's rarely ever going to work in the best interest of the people that it serves. Okay, so we understand that. We acknowledge, yes, the government was implicit as far as delivering. But again, all they did was drop it off, and people still had to make a decision and made a choice. And those people made a bad decision. And that led to the outcome of what we see today with these dilapidated inner cities. So again, it all comes down to decision. And when we sit up here and try to run and spin that, make it seem like, oh, the government came with needles and just jabbed them in everybody's fucking arm and injected the shit, that'd be a different story. At that point, yeah, you didn't have a choice because someone came and injected drugs into your system and made you a fucking addict. But all they did was drop the fucking drugs off, and it was black people that decided to say, you know what, we're going to take these drugs and we're going to sell them to our own people and destroy our own communities, bro. There's got to be some level of accountability and responsibility taken on black folks' part.
Yeah, let me highlight this too, Sig. This is, and when he said it, when Stark said he would sell it and bag it up, other people came on mic like celebrating it. This goes into play with the idea that blacks sold blacks into slavery and blacks keep selling each other out, but somehow it's the coons, the black conservatives, that's the sellouts, not the ones who actually intentionally. Now keep in mind, they know the scenario was given to them that the CIA is giving you something that's going to destroy your community, and he actively said they're going to comply with it. They're going to, not even mistakenly, like, oh, I didn't know the effects. No, they know the effects, and they're still going to do it. And we so-called coons wouldn't do that. Imagine that. Look, this is a case study right in front of you in full display. These fucking people are nuts, and they hate black people more than they think we do, and they're actually saying that if they had the power to destroy us, they would.
I thought about it. I thought about it more in terms of just like incentives. Like if you place, people do have agency, but people are always subject to economic incentives. And so it was interesting because that is basically, you think about the current opioid epidemic that we've been going through. So who are the people that were responsible for helping to distribute opioids to people? Like running pill mills and stuff like that. They were like doctors. They were respectable, upstanding citizens who basically succumbed to economic incentives. And so it makes it clearer to me that he presented it in that way that was very straightforward. It's consistent, and you can apply the same model to other people. Why would people distribute these substances to people when they know that they're addictive and because they can get money from it, because they can increase status or their material returns. So I don't know. It seems.
Frank, you're absolutely right.
Real quick. The opioid thing is very disanalysis, and here's why. And I'm not covering for the medical industry that did the fuck shit. The reason why, because opioids are prescribed to you by a doctor to treat pain, right? And a byproduct of that is being the side effect is an addiction to the medicine, right? So that's why they're liable, the government it is, for over administering, for not monitoring the shit correctly, whatever liability they have. So it's totally different because they did it the right way with those particular side effects. Cocaine is not in the same box. So they never prescribed cocaine. They did something legally, and they should be accountable for it, and we should not.
So I don't agree that people should be held accountable for their actions when they're distributing substances which we consider to be illegal. I'm just saying that doctors, we can probably look it up. I'm pretty sure they had like pill mills where doctors were getting kickbacks. There was all kinds of schemes and of course the doctors were aware of what they were doing. So yeah, these are upstanding citizens who are the polar opposite of the people who you consider to be downtrodden or ghetto defiance.
That's the mistake in your analysis. They're not upstanding citizens. They're just in a different class of people. That's all it is. But if you dig into every story of people using their authority in order to put people on pills, there's going to be either a gambling addiction, there's going to be either some blackmailing scheme, they have, a divorce that they don't want to, take a big hit for, so they need an extra line of income. These are not upstanding people. These are, and where I do agree with you is that the circumstances, right, the environment allows people to adapt to the path of least resistance. That's absolutely true. But any community, anywhere in the world, in any point in time. But it's also, it's people with agency. It's our responsibility to make sure that the way we press on the government is that it directs its forces to guard people against those type of behaviors rather than encourage them. So, for example, crack pandemic, right? As soon as you understand what's happening, it's your responsibility, if you are, a conscientious individual with some sort of basic moral values, to put as much pressure as you can on the government so this fuck shit never happens again and it remedies its consequences. Because the government is one of the only entities that's in this whole equation that doesn't suffer the direct consequences of its actions. All it does is, just gets the next cycle of voters, and that's it.
I don't know if it doesn't necessarily suffer. I mean, gotta have tax dollars, voting populace, and again, one of the beauties of our system, at least in America, is that it is predicated on an election turnout, and so as much as people say contrive things, if you are kind of shitty and you back the shitty shit, you can be redistricted, you can be redrawn, and you can be voted out. So there's many ways that it's very difficult to stay into power if you're really just kind of on that one, Andre. I would say there's something of a check there, and at least that hasn't been abridged too. It's been abridged, but it has not been sealed off, so the people can decide. Take in case of Kamala Harris, they didn't how she got on the border. That was it. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. The example that my mind goes to is DC. The mayor who was caught live, doing crack cocaine with a prostitute in the hotel, and I think it was several times. Several times that it happened. Yet he created the environment for his constituents that they benefited from. And so they kept re-electing him, no matter how shitty he was and how detrimental he was to the community, because he gave them path of least resistance. So I think, there's definitely checks and balances. They just need to be reinforced in a more, what's the word I'm looking for? In more direct manner. We need to be more intentional about it.
And I just want to say, people do know that the U.S. government didn't figure out a way to make crack. And I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories. And drop it off in a neighborhood and said, free, pick me up on pallets, and laid out crack pipes and lighters. I think, crack is smoked through a crack pipe, right? With a lighter. You need a lighter to, light it, whatever. So,
yeah, you have to rock it first and cut it with something. Yeah.
Okay.
Some
thank you.
local drug dealers speak up. Yes, I know.
Now we know who's responsible for it, right? It's the Hispanics. So I'm just saying, there was one article. If you actually go back and research where this claim came from, you realize it comes from one reporter with the LA Times. It literally comes from a single source. You can trace this back. It's one little reporter who then turns around and retracts it because he was trying to give another fuck it that people didn't even bother to read the whole article to see what was the substance of his point. He was just kind of going off, and then researched the guy who was at the time taking lithium. I mean, you gotta put checks and balances. And not saying that the government hasn't done a lot of fucked up shit. It's just some conspiracies are just made up. And this LA reporter did that. And I think it's there. Like, crack came out of fucking Florida. You can actually trace it. It was invented by the Colombians. I hate to tell you this. Like, it was those bastards. Get mad at them. They immigrated here. They figured out a quick, easy way to do it. And they were doing it on the street in Florida. And then it migrated over across the country.
Well, would you like the CIA to introduce crack to your community? Do you think that would be good? To see how they,
everyone's community. What are you talking about?
Would you like?
Let me answer my two listeners. No. Let me.
Sell you know, just give your teenagers a huge amount of crack cocaine.
So they did. So let's help you understand this. Cocaine Cowboys. Let's start getting around the Cocaine Cowboys. Yeah. Okay, right. Okay, so those white boys doing it. Yeah, it's not just them. Colombians, Hispanics, everybody did it. Right. Everybody sold it. Everybody did it. Right. It affected our community really bad because unfortunately, and again, it affected a lot of communities bad, but unfortunately, our community glorified this shit. We still do it today. We celebrate our drug lords. Freeway Ricky Ross, Frank Lucas, Bumpy Johnson, the list goes on. And I'm not saying those other people, particularly Italian communities, some of those did too, idolizing the mafia. But the long-term detrimental effects for our community was far worse because instead of us turning around or being selective how we did it, we pretty much did it wrong. And I'm going to say this, and I know it sounds fucked up. You ever seen The Wire? It's a TV show called The Wire, best show ever. I promise you, it's the best show ever. One scene that stuck out to me, the guy said, hey, everybody sells drugs. We go to all communities and arrest them and leave most people alone because shit is going to keep happening. It's high recidivism. But the issue is we have to deal with the blacks because you guys have bodies show up and we got to answer for the fucking bodies. So he's saying that all of the prostitution and theft and all the other shit that comes along with it is probably passive compared to the fucking murder that come with it. And he said we have to respond to that because the public need an answer. So that's why it looks worse in our communities because every community suffer the same thing, but ours tend to be worse when it comes to murder and crime and all the other shit that piles on top.
Yeah, that's good. I understand. So you would be fine with having crack introduced to your community personally because you hear shit I said. That's what I'm saying.
You heard shit I said. No, that's a no. I don't want crack in the communities at all. Period. I don't want any hazardous drugs. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm free. I'm open with people having a choice to do it. I prefer people not to do it. I prefer people to take care of themselves and be healthy. And drugs don't get you there.
Yeah, but it's not something that a government that's working in the best interest of those people would do, is it? You know what I mean?
That's the whole point. We realize and recognize, listener, that the government is never going to work in the interest. So this is why we have a constitution, listener, because our founding fathers realized governments aren't in favor of the people that they serve. They're going to try to overtake and use and abuse the citizens that create and keep their country running. So that's why we got the Constitution. So government being on your side, it's never going to work. And the only way it's going to work, there's only one way it works, is when the people have arms and the people are educated on every single aspect of how their government's performing, and they take action to keep their government in lock and step with how they want it to be ran. So that's the only way we'll start. But real quick, guys, I got one more clip I wanted to play because it's on the lines of what we're talking about as far as how black folks think and changing black folks thinking. So I got the link up top, and I'm gonna play the clip really quick. It's just a 1 minute clip, guys. Here we go.
And become intellectually independent enough. When black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, as other humans are intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, then the black man will think like a black man, and he will feel for other black people. And this new thinking and feeling will cause black people to stick together. And then at that point, you'll have a situation where when you attack one black man, you are attacking all black men. And this type of black thinking will cause all black people to stick together. And this type of thinking also will bring an end to the brutality inflicted upon black people by white people. And it is the only thing that we're bringing into it. No federal court, state court, or city court we're bringing into it. It's something that the black man has to bring an end to himself.
So, if you listen to what he said closely, again, and this goes into
You try to listen to what he said closely.
Blacks
like
that support the Democratic and liberal agenda. He said you can't go to any state court. You can't go to any city court. Again, he's saying the government's not going to be able to fucking help you. And what do these modern liberal blacks? What's the number one thing that they're invoking more of is more fucking government, more legislation, more acts. Again, it goes in direct fucking opposition of what Malcolm X fucking preaches. It's a mentality thing. So when you stop aborting your fucking babies, when you start marrying the women that you fucking procreate with, when you're taking education, when you start paramounting education, and I'm talking real education, not this bullshit fucking boss babe, boss bitch fucking bullshit modern education. We're talking about real actual education, which is financial literacy, right? Which is community literacy, which is investing and thinking long term for not only your future but the future of your offspring and their offspring. That's the mentality he's talking about. Again, more government, begging, whining, crying for the government to what they're supposed to do, or back in the 60s it was white folks doing what they're supposed to do, expecting them to come and play Captain Save-A-Hole for your community that you're responsible for. It's never going to fucking work. And what he says is true to this day. It's what we're seeing to this day. Again, the same arguments and same criticisms and same complaints that blacks had 60, 70 plus years ago, they still have them to this day. And they've been putting all their eggs into the government, into the Democratic Party, which promotes more government and more legislation. And we see that nothing has fucking changed. Nothing has gotten better according to the blacks. They're still facing the same fucking problems that they faced back then. So what fucking gives? What gives?
I'm actually curious.
It seems like the coons got it figured out. Because the coons are going exactly with what Malcolm X says, is minimize government, get the government out of our fucking lives, let us do what the fuck we need to do to get our people thinking right, to be more community oriented for the black community. Malcolm X wasn't talking about, go back to Africa. He wasn't. Malcolm X was firmly believed in being a black American and taking place in American culture. He wasn't Marcus Garvey. So he believed in staying here in America, and blacks can actually live a life in America based on things that he prescribed and that he talked about.
I think I'm somewhat confused because I'm not sure if the things that you're talking about, like single parent, I'm curious about the number of single parent households in the black community in the 1960s, as well as like the amount of drug use. As far as I know, most of the people that I know who were born in the 1960s and earlier had two family households, unless like someone died because of war or because of, I don't think that single parent households were like or were how do you call this, outside of the norm? I mean, were like a normal thing in the 1960s. And I'm also curious about abortion numbers for black people. I do know that there were only 4 black representatives in Congress. There were no black in the House of Representatives, and no black senators at that time. I looked it up, but I'm curious about like how prevalent these issues that you're bringing up, I guess, that are representing modern times were in the time of Malcolm X.
Yeah, and that's a really good question. So as far as the degeneracy rates, they were much lower back then, much lower. But with the introduction of heroin, and this is coming from the Vietnam War, that's really where the drugs became a really big issue, was the drugs that were being consumed over in Vietnam and these other countries were now being brought to the United States. That's why Nixon in that era started, he was the official starter, spearheaded the war on drugs. Tons of things happened in the black community to accelerate the degeneracy. White flight took place, but again, there's a lie being told about white flight. If you let these people tell it, it was, white folks didn't like black folks, so they moved away from the inner cities where blacks did, move to the suburbs and set up shop for their own communities and left blacks just kind of hanging with the cobwebs and the dust in the corner of the cellar. That's not true. Tons of riots. Tons of riots. In fact, Detroit's one of the examples that black folks started riots during the racial era, started riots. The same thing they're doing today, burning down and destroying their own neighborhoods, which a ton of whites lived in. And the whites are like, you Negroes are too fucking violent. You're burning everything down. You're destroying every fucking thing. That's what accelerated them to move to the suburbs. So there was a trigger there. They were destroying businesses, and the bulk of the white people own those businesses in the city of Detroit. And they said, you're busting our windows, you're looting, you're stealing, you're rioting. We can't set up shop here. So they had to move out. And that was the catalyst of the white flight, especially from fucking Detroit.
Yeah, I don't know. The Detroit example, I don't think this is a good one. Like, it was an extremely segregated city, and you can probably look up the poverty. They were extremely impoverished. There was a place called Black Bottom where it was basically like a ghetto, an inner city ghetto that was like cordoned off. And there were some other areas where black people were clustered. There's like a combination of things. Like I don't know if you know about the city and the metro area. It's not, you're talking about like you know about it, but like all of the car factories and stuff, like the Chrysler factory, the Ford plant, the River Rouge is still there, but they moved their operations out into the suburbs. Okay, so there was like a long process of like deindustrialization, which I feel like happened in like the 50s, 60s, up to the 70s. Really, it started way before when people typically talk about it like around the 80s, but it started way before then, at least in Detroit. And those jobs were now not readily available for inner city residents. I'm sure you know about like the conflicts with the unions and stuff. It's a bunch of stuff, but it's not as simple as you're painting it. And the process of like the city, the infrastructure of the city, the neighborhoods, like over time is like interlinked with like the economic changes and stuff like that.
Right. And what was the major catalyst of the economic change? It was the fucking race riot. Look at Detroit before the race riots and the integration.
Let me just finish.
I'm gonna let you finish.
The factories started to move out, and there was a change in like the composition of where factories were located during World War II. Like you know about the Arsenal of Democracy and stuff. So they specifically tried to like source and place factories outside the city for like a foreign what do you call them? There were reasons that had to do with like army planning and stuff. But you want to go into that. That kind of change of the composition, the economic composition of the city, is part of why you ended up with like this kind of like the dilapidation that you see. Maybe you know about there's one more thing. The other thing is that the neighborhoods that people think of that are like decayed that's like only part of the picture. There's lots of areas in the city that are perfectly well constituted. Like we have really, really strong black middle class. The areas that were once housed the elite, the economic elite in the city, that was taken over by the black middle class. So you just keep in mind that your picture that you painted was kind of not complete. It was a little bit biased in some way. Maybe
it absolutely wasn't. The Detroit riots were the cause of the majority of white flight, brother. I'm sorry. You go to the Detroit Historical Museum and they got a fucking display right there telling you the same fucking thing.
Are you saying that they created white flight across the entire United States?
That was so. Before then, whites were starting, because this is a period of construction of the U.S., the federal highway system, right? So yes, whites were moving. Whites were trickling into the suburbs. Once the blacks started rioting and destroying the local businesses and community in that area, boom, you saw tens of thousands of white folks just pack their bags and take the fuck off. And it was because of the fucking violence and the rioting.
Yeah, but this is again, that's like part of it, but that's not everything. And so that was a major. That when you say that,
I'm not saying it was everything, but
if you put like a function, you say here's the percentage of the cost for white flight will assign to this event.
The race riots of the 60s.
The entire chain, there was an entire chain, like the whole area, the metro area, like you could just look into it more. I know you've been to the Detroit Historical Museum, so that's good. But yeah, if you had talked to like a I'm sorry, like a tour guide, they would have given you a better context.
I don't need a tour guide. I got 3 generations of photo albums with pictures of Detroit, with blacks, with the homes, with the manicured lawns, with blacks and dressed up in nice collared button-up shirts, ties, well kempt, well manicured. So I've got photo albums. I've got the Detroit Historical Museum. I've got history that tells that and it's documented that the catalyst of white flight in the city of Detroit was the fucking race riots, and because they destroyed the area.
Okay, so where do you live in the city?
That was 67.
Let me just ask you a question. Where do you live in the city? It sounds like you live in the city. Where do you live?
I live 20 minutes outside the city.
Where do you live in? Like
I live in the suburbs.
Oh, yeah?
I live in the suburbs.
I
Technically live 10 minutes from the city border, but if you're talking like downtown, the deeper area of Detroit, I live about 20 minutes.
Okay, so where did your family live? Did they live on the west side or the east side or something like that?
Mainly west side.
Okay, so then do you know about the composition? You know about Sherwood Forest, you know about Boston Edison, you know about Rosedale and Grandmont, you know about
I know about all that. I know about Chrysler coming in. I know about the eminent domain. I know about all that stuff.
Presenting it as if those areas are not still well constituted. There's there's nothing in the city.
You just keep talking. So.
No, it's fine, KB. We're ping ponging back and forth. No, he's fine. He's fine. He's being respectful. He's good. He's being respectful. He's cool. But what I'm saying is that again, this narrative has shifted that we're trying to blame white folks for leaving and leaving a mess for us to clean up when we created that mess with the riots. The majority of white folks left once the racial riots started taking place and blacks started burning everything down and destroying that fucking city. That's the truth, bro. That's the truth.
Did we destroy the Packer plant? Did we destroy the plant up on Woodward in Highland Park? Did we destroy that plant? Do you think us rioting led to Chrysler and Ford moving their plants 100 miles, 20 miles outside the city?
Okay, again, it wasn't that prevalent. Again, what you're asking, sir, does not make any sense. And if you don't believe me, go up on ChatGPT. Type in when did white flight happen in Detroit, and I'll quote from ChatGPT. That's the quickest we can get. Quote: 1960s, the 1967 Detroit riot was the single biggest turning point, and just a few years afterward, tens of thousands of white residents left for the suburbs like Livonia, Warren, Dearborn, and Grosse Pointe, sir. I rest my case.
Yeah, I mean, there's also
a YouTube link. It's 4 minutes, but if you play it at 1.5 speed, it's
and you live in Michigan too, don't you?
Yeah, but I mean, the point of this conversation, sir, is the fact that, again, it comes down to what Malcolm X was saying about the left, about Democrats, right? Malcolm had his beef with conservatives, right? But he at least gave conservatives some credit and said, hey, at least the motherfuckers are wolves, right? They're going to just show you how gritty they are. At least you know what's coming. You know what to expect. You can plan and prepare for it. But it's the white liberals that put on that fucking disguise, all in your face, act like they're your friends and trying to help you. But in reality, they're just gaining clout off of you and look at table scraps while they eat the main fucking course.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go right ahead. Yep.
Let's have dinner.
Okay, so I don't necessarily disagree with you about white liberals because sometimes they're it's just cringe and it feels like what's the word for it? They tokenize both sides of the party.
Christian minister speaks out after being branded a racist. Have you guys seen this?
No, I'm gonna.
Pretty interesting story. Sad. Radical Islam's not a joke. Hi, John. Hi, John. Good morning. Shabbat shalom.
Yeah, good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos to everybody. Hannah. Good Shabbos. Caleb. Even the anonymous. Good Shabbos. Sire. Anna. Eden, Grace, Jonas, good Shabbos.
Shabbat shalom.
Do we got 60 seconds for Tanya?
Now you're asking me if I got 60 seconds for Tanya's. Tanya's infectious.
Shabbat Shalom. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. You guys all have an amazing, sweet.
Okay, you want to hear a chapter from Tanya?
Please.
Okay, this is pick a number 1 through 50. I'll just read whichever number.
49.
All right. It's called The Purpose of Creation. Wow.
What a good pick.
So take the deepest breath of the day. This is called The Purpose of Creation. While the levels of contraction are too many to count, we focus on 3: the world of thinking, the world of feeling, and the world of doing. Thinking, feeling, and doing are essential to the material world, whose purpose is to provide darkness in which light can shine. Hence, the purpose of descent is in fact ascent, for love impels the flesh. It is not enough to know this. You must also act upon it, as it is written, and the glory of God shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it. This is why God contracted and became the worlds, to draw the infinite into the finite, that the finite might know the infinite.
Thank you. Hi, Jonas. Good Shabbos to all. Jonas, welcome to the stage. How are you? Thanks for that 60 seconds of Tanya. Peter, Shabbat Shalom. Caleb, Samson, Shabbat Shalom. What do you guys think about this mayor in Dearborn, Michigan? John, did you see this?
No, I didn't see it. Is that the link?
No, thank you. Caleb, how are you? Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So yeah, Grace, not to really get into it, so it was a very fruitful conversation. I sent you a picture in the back channels for yourself.
Kayla, do you think there can you think there can ever actually be unity amongst people? Because if they're not willing to join a book club together, I get the feeling that unity is just impossible.
I think greed, being vain, is going to impact unity. I don't think there ever will be unity. I mean, my religion has a bigger dick type of thing.
Well, what I'm saying is the programming will never change unless the participants, choose to change the programming. And no contentment will ever come without a content change.
I think the content could change, but I think change has to come within the home. And I don't think people are going to change the way they're raising their children. And unfortunately, hate is a disease. And we don't have the medication yet for it to cure it.
We do. We have Tanya.
Yeah, we do as Jews. But I don't think the other people that have the disease of hate have it.
Well, that's why I talk about the book club, because if you want the opposing side to change and go within, they'd have to join a book club. It's like Clubhouse. Each one of these rooms is in a house. The house is the analogy for our brains, and there's many rooms, and there's a perimeter to that house. So the house is a very good analogy for, city-states or states, or governments or peoples, and Clubhouses prove of that. I mean, they branded the term house in their name. So what's everybody doing for the Rosh Hashanah dinner on Monday?
Yeah, what is everybody doing? What's your plans for the holidays, guys?
Working.
For dinner?
No, not for dinner. For dinner, we'll do the five of us, just our immediate family first night, and then the second night we're at my mom's.
Nice. You have a congregation to talk to?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Still busy prepping, but we'll get there.
What's your plans, John? Take over.
No, I was gonna go to the local Chabad. It's $25 for the ticket, and he does an amazing job. Really nice.
Can't go wrong. It's cheap.
I was just about to say the same thing. Boy, that's really nice.
They go around town blowing the shofar, and I'm like, isn't that kind of risky, as a Hasidic Jew to walk around blowing the shofar, having a good time around town? I mean, that's to me like what makes a Chabadniks amazing, is that they are willing, nothing will stop them in their joy of, presenting in public and trying to bring people closer to God. To me, that's, real courage.
They got the biggest balls in the life.
They also are very creative. They're really doing some creative things.
See, the thing is, though, they want you to join their congregation. They need you, and they need your donations. But I've never had anyone in Chabad ever say, "Hey, have you heard about this amazing book called Tanya by the Alter Rebbe?" Never heard anybody say that to me ever. So I feel like having discovered the Tanya and really enjoying it, you can still spend time with Chabadniks, but you can also detect their own frustration. But their attitude, it's about peace, and psychologically, I think, and intellectually, the information that they possess is, I hope, responsible for their joy.
What are people doing for Rosh Hashanah? Hey, look, what are you doing?
Working. What are you doing?
I'm praying. Singing, leading children's services. I'm very excited, as usual.
also important that we do talk about what's going on in Dearborn and how that affects the rest of the world and the United States. Essentially being in the United States where freedom of speech is supposed to be like highlighted. And if you guys can read the article and you'll see what's going on, it's despicable.
These types of cultural or religious clashes are only going to increase over time in this country, you know, and in Europe, it's the same way. You know, I don't know too many Muslims personally, you know, but I feel like I'd be comfortable around Muslims. But I think, you know, from a Western lens, I don't know how. I mean, if you ever spent time in Saudi Arabia or any, you know, or Jordan or any Islamic country, it seems like there's classes of people who, you know, who are just not religious, but yet, I don't know, there's got to be this socioeconomic division between, you know, in Islamic countries. But anyways, I read the article, you know, so. These things are going to happen. I don't know how. This is all you can do is if you are a Christian or a Jew, it's your public service to go against, you know, Islamic preaching, Islamic law, Islamic leadership in this country. It's your public duty and historical precedent. I mean, there's nothing controversial about using your information against their information. That's all it is. If you do it peacefully and respectfully, you're going to win the debate. And that's my opinion. And then the cream will rise to the top.
Actually, difference just because I'm kind of a Methodist liberal guy, and I have huge problem with Islamic culture. It messes up shit. It's not like all the people I hang around with defend them. And I don't believe in that shit because you're supposed to defend your beliefs.
Yeah, Dearborn's a shithole. I can't imagine wanting to live there.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, City. What's happening? I posted a link on the top where there's a Christian minister who speaks out for a street named after a terrorist sympathizer in Dearborn, Michigan, and the mayor said that he's gonna hold a parade after he ejects this guy from the town and wants him to leave the town. And called him a Islamophobe because he thinks that it's inappropriate to name a street after a terrorist sympathizer.
I recently got a new burner phone or a new Instagram account, and I'm following all leftist, liberal, free Palestine accounts and profiles. I just saw them dropping leaflets in Gaza City, and this woman who I don't even think she's, you know, from Gaza. However, she's there. She's got, you know, she's a beautiful woman. She's in an apartment, and she's literally filming the leaflets dropping. She's like, I'm not sure. Maybe it was a bad idea. Maybe I should go. And so there's so much media coming out of, it's a tunnel vision, and I've never like looked at a lot of this content, but there's so much of it that it's unbelievable. So it's its own huge media category, exclusive on Meta for the most part, and it's live. They suppose she's still on the internet, so I don't know. It's all that algorithm. It's really what you're following, and there's just too much content to consume. It would drive one mad to have to keep track of all of this content and information that comes through the cell phone, because it's just.
By the way, check out her hair and her nails of this woman in a genocide.
Yeah.
Look again at the video and look her perfect like new nails with like design on them and the like highlights in her hair that was done like professionally during this genocide.
Oh, so I assume she's been doing this for quite a while.
The genocide track? Yeah, it's a dental special.
Norm, did you see the story about the people in Michigan, man? I'd love to be more interactive right now about the story, guys.
Who's the guy that is advocating the news now? Who's the guy that they named the street after? Does it say it?
You're talking about Osama Salbani? Is that what you're asking? In the article?
Osama Salbani? Okay, thanks. Yes, that's what I meant.
You know what is really missing from the Free Palestine movement is God. It's to me, you don't really, because if you mix Islamic preaching with all that other content, it would come across as even far more radical and extremist, cultish. So, but I would point out that's kind of the solution to a lot of these people's problem, to understand how they got to where they're at now, about to lose a war, and have had all their front teeth kicked in. So personal responsibility and self-governance, you can literally look at the media chain of events and see how these people program themselves into doing what they did on October 7th and the subsequent situation now.
Okay, now I see that the Dearborn mayor is Abdallah Hamoud.
Yeah, definitely his name's not Ricky Snell.
It would be like Abdallah Hamoud Smith.
Yeah. Sarah in the audience, you went into this room. I think you got more insight on this topic, if you don't mind, please.
I sent her an invite.
And I was hoping she could invite her husband. This is exactly what he was talking about, what's going on in the UK. This is the beginning in Dearborn, Michigan, of what's going on in the UK with the grooming gangs. How the mayor is ignoring it and stuff like that. This is exactly what he talks about.
I saw this beautiful girl's. Ewan could talk your ear off for a year about grooming gangs. Ewan, I saw this beautiful girl's Hinge account. She said, if you're not free Palestine, don't even try.
That's exactly what's going on in the UK. It's started happening like this in Dearborn, Michigan. Did you read the Phillips and the Jumbotron, the Christian minister who speaks out on the street?
Free Palestine, don't even try.
And the Muslim radical mayor. And we're going to do a parade when you get the fuck out of this town. And you're an Islamophobe.
Oh, dude, I already know about what's going on in Michigan. I've been paying very close attention to it. So it's already started to happen in Michigan. It's already started to happen in parts of Texas, and it's happening in parts of Minnesota.
Talk more about it if you don't mind, so people can understand. Like especially in Minnesota, so people are not believing.
Yeah. One sec, let me put my AirPods in.
I heard the next gen AirPods are out that can do live language translation.
Yeah, we're gonna need it for going in this direction. Okay, so over the past, I would say 20 years, there's been a significant increase in immigration in the UK and Europe in general. And a lot of that has been people that have been from specifically the Middle East and North Africa, other African regions too. But it's basically made where I live in the UK a much more dangerous country. 15 years ago, there were 8,000 rapes a year in the entirety of the UK, and now there are 88,000 rapes a year in the UK, and that's only ones that are those are the only ones that police actually put through. There's a massive increase in sexual assaults, murders, stabbings, things like that that have gone up. Also, there's been a really big increase in incest, specifically first cousin marriage, specifically with Pakistani groups. And that's actually brought up the amount of children born with serious mental health issues to a very high level. It's at the highest it's ever been in the UK per capita. And yeah, it's really scary. The UK is falling apart as a country. It's very bizarre.
You're gonna fuck it up right now.
There's this weird two-tier
Okay,
system.
then move your other one to the audience. Well, it doesn't matter really.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. When the other one moves, then yeah.
Oh, look, the court stenographer's here.
I was going to ask you something for assignment. I forgot completely.
You're gonna ask me something?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
So Utah related?
No. Oh no, it was more a statement when we're talking about drinking.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say that this year I've had 4 drinks.
Nice.
Only.
You feel better?
You should have read 4 books instead.
No.
Actually, I read a lot. Even if you don't believe it, Joe.
Well, I have a book club. We read 10 minutes to each other in my book club. You should come to my book club.
Who else is in your book club?
Everybody on Clown House who wants to be in the book club, of course. Silly.
Anyway.
I thought we were going to do a campaign fundraiser this morning. I got petition circulators that need to get paid. They want to make $100 today, the hard way.
The fundraising, the campaign fundraising edition. Okay.
I just texted my team and told them that we raised another $200. So get out there and make that money and get those signatures, Patriots.
How many more signatures do you need?
We need 200 more signatures.
All the signatures.
What is the number of signatures you need?
700 total.
And how many do you have?
530 plus.
Okay, you need another 500.
I agree. Maybe another 1,000 just to be safe. That's what it would really take, to tell you the truth.
And are they all legit?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay, and how do you do it? Do you go house by house, or do you stop them in the street? Or what's the methodology?
Strip malls, State Street. It's all in Rockford. There's 150,000 people that live there, and I have 3 people who are going to, like, big evening, corridors. And as far as I know, all their signatures are legit. That's the thing you won't know until the challenge, and then they go signature by signature, and they will literally go through every single one and challenge every single one. And there's multiple ways to challenge a signature. And you got to sit there and literally do the research in the database real time as they're challenging you to discuss their challenge. And then the judge who's sitting there adjudicates and determine whether it's accepted or denied.
How soon do you have to have these?
October 27th is when I should have them turned in, probably.
When?
October 27th, so we got about 45 more days. It's a lot of work, and the challenge, and literally it will take them maybe 6 to 8. It might take them 6 hours to challenge all the signatures, maybe 8 hours, and you got to sit there it will take 8 hours. You sit there the whole day, you get a lunch break, and hopefully they have an answer, at the end of the workday, at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
And how do they challenge them? Do they go? Because when you get a signature, you have to get a name and I don't know, like ID number or something.
What they do is during the challenge, they put it on a big screen TV and they scan in every sheet, and then it focuses in and pulls a snippet from the signature line, and it puts it on the big screen, and then they have to press challenge yes or no, and then they say why they're challenging.
So it's all done with, of course, automated.
Yeah, it's fully automated, but again, if they challenge a signature, it's up to me, not the people that work there, to go into their fucking database, search for that person who signed, and find out if that's the correct address, the correct, you literally have to pull up that record yourself as the candidate. And so they make the whole burden of responsibility on you to defend the signatures, as opposed to automating it and having a way for the system to confirm it. So they make the whole process fucking obnoxiously long and stupid. It's for children, and it's wild. Like people get kicked out.
Wait, so hold on. They challenge just like random signatures, or
no?
How?
Like I just told you, if you were listening, they challenge every single signature, line by line.
God.
That's how they do it. I've gone through this process before. It is the craziest. And then you can file an appeal, and then it goes to a court judge. Okay, I've gone through this whole process. It is the most insane, because there's a whole category of law called political law, and this is how it's all. This is about petition access. Like, it's so insanely long and stupid to do all this, but this is probably the last time I ever will do this. It's so fucking stupid. See, the worst thing is, one of the reasons why all my signatures have problems is because they're not generated by Republican parties, and I have no real Republican list. God, there's a fucking list. Man, I have people who tell me things, and it's like, don't tell me things, show me things, do things, and so really life is all about what you do, because most other people will never help you or do anything productive for you unless they're being paid. It's called compensation. And without compensation, there's no dopamine in helping someone. So that's the truth of life.
And you have to do this just the first time, like once you get part, I mean, like to be the official candidate of the Republican Party, or do you have to do this every single time that you run, even if you're in the right?
Everyone has to generate petitions, as far as I know. Even if he's the incumbent, I'm sure he still has to generate petitions in order to get on the ballot. Because when you submit to the Illinois State Election Commission or the Chicago Election Commission, everything is done with forms and paperwork. So he has to submit, and I'm sure he has no problem getting his signatures, done within a couple days.
And there can be only one candidate for each for the Republican Party in each district?
No, there's multiple Republican candidates now. There's 3 of us. One the incumbent, 2 challengers, and then in the Democrat field, there's 4 Democrats running as well. This is the primary to determine who the 2 picks are on the ballot.
Yeah, that's my point. So first you have to do like a primary, and then whoever wins among those 3, that will be the official ballot, right?
Correct. That ballot is in November of 2026.
Okay.
But this is if I can even get my name on the ballot, that is the win for me, because there's a very low chance that I'll actually beat him, even if I get on the ballot. So to me, this whole thing is like an exercise in credibility and resume and political building. So that's the way to look at it, because it's really just multiple attempts to win an election, whether it's Congress or commissioner. There's so many political positions where I live. It's a never-ending political industrial complex. So once Google recognizes me, as they do now, as a politician, it will make running in future elections more likely that I'll win. I'm 42, so I'm trying to look at this as like a 15-year curve of what can I accomplish politically over 15 years.
What do you think the next thing will be after this campaign?
Probably mayor of Chicago, running for the mayoral election. That would be the wildest political ride I could do, because it's all local and I could get those signatures very easily to run for mayor. So
you would want to do a smaller city?
I live in Chicago. My permanent residence is here. Running against Mayor Brandon Johnson would be a huge PR win for me in terms of social media credibility, etc.
Is he popular?
He's despised. He's got like a 13% approval rating. Nobody likes him. His attitude is so aggressive and so demeaning and so superior and narcissistic and grandiose and obnoxious and childish. No one respects him.
Is he popular as in, like, it doesn't matter if they know him for the good or the bad things, but is he popular is he well known, let's say, at a Congress level?
Everybody in the country is aware of who Brandon Johnson is, for the most part.
Okay, yeah, that was my question. So if you actually were to defeat him in the primary, that would be huge for you.
He's going to get he's running as a Democrat. I would be running in a multiple field, probably of a few Republicans. But again, even if I don't win, just having my name on the ballot is a huge PR move for me personally in terms of developing, credibility and social media standing. Because don't forget, I have 25,000 recordings up on YouTube, 25,000 Instagram posts. I'm so connected to recording Clubhouse and everybody here on this app that the more PR I get, the bigger my media business grows. So, and my media standing, because people, you got to understand I'm doing a couple more newspaper interviews and like morning talk show things locally in Rockford and Peoria. There's 300,000 people that live there. There's ABC, CBS, NBCs in all those towns. I have to try to get on their media because you can see in my PTR, the NPR interview, that was a big credibility boost for the campaign. That was my first big press event. So I need more big press events.
I have removed you many times from the room. Hold on. I've removed you many times from the room, and this is going to be the last time I remove you because you're going to be blocked, you faggot.
So anyways, again, this is really just about developing media and publicity and I really enjoy talking about the fiscal crisis and my campaign mantra: stop borrowing, stop spending. So this is, I have found that this is a method.
Do you have the interview they did with you? Like, I heard it was very, very good. I want to listen to it.
Yeah, I can put it in the chat. People like it.
Yeah, they said that you were amazing. That you were like super serious and very eloquent. So are you saying that Clubhouse is gonna help you win? It's gonna be your stepping stone to become an important politician?
I think all the conversations I've recorded have value because most people in the conversations are, if people on this app actually spend time going through my YouTube and then they found all these recordings of themselves and other people, it's what is the difference between going through my 25,000 videos and listening to Clubhouse rooms versus coming here and listening to the same people say the same things, live. I'm trying to, help wake people up to their usage of time, what they're listening to and what they're saying.
Well, Andrew, coming up on stage.
Hey, sorry, I'm working, so I might not be able to talk too much.
It's okay. We all are. I'm working as well. John is telling us about his campaign. Yeah, so sorry, John. What were you saying? The last thing? Oh no, I asked you about like a Clubhouse as your stepping stone to politics, and you said you've been recording everyone and what the difference between hearing people here and hearing people outside.
Well, what I'm trying to do is wake people up to the fact that what you listen to and what you say is very important. And in regards specifically to time usage and how you're spending your day, and, because life comes down to a stream of communication. And so the more focused your communication, I'm just saying that my recordings are basically observations on public speaking. And so I like to make fun of non-native English speakers and call this like an ESL seminar for individuals. But, if you want to see public speaking or yourself doing public speaking, my YouTube channels are full of Clubhouse speakers. But the link is in the chat to this interview I did. Eduardo writes, Clubhouse is a shithole. John, if you condition your election expectations to Clubhouse, you already lost. Well, he also wrote, FJK is in the room and my typing is going to be recorded. Well, I'm running for Congress, and so this is a fundraising room that Issa and I discussed yesterday. Thanks for being here, everybody. We won't suck up too much of your time here, and I promise to only give you flowers and joy. I'm going to put a link to the donation page for the campaign. It's using Antidote. It should also be in my profile here. If you want to click my profile, then click more.
Put it on top of the room so that people see it as soon as they
So I have a wonderful young lady in Rockford who has a team of 3 people, and they have generated over 500 signatures for the campaign. And we have been paying them $1.50 a signature. I myself have brought in 30 signatures in Bloomington, Normal, Illinois. And so we're sitting at 530 signatures, and I'm pretty confident that she's going to get another 150 signatures this weekend. So that'll sit us at 653 by Sunday. And then I'm going to personally go get signatures Sunday myself, and hopefully we'll be at 700 by Monday. And then from there, I want to continue getting probably 150 signatures a week in Rockford, and then move.
No, you should get more, dude. You have 40 days. You should strive for more.
I am. And so I want to expand to Peoria, which is the second largest city in the district, which has about 140,000, 130,000 people. So I'm going to drive to Peoria and create content outside of Darren LaHood's office in the same way that Charlie Kirk would sit there and do Q&A. So I'm gonna do a live stream event outside of Darren LaHood's office.
Do you prove me wrong? I think actually you would be a good prove me wrong guy because you're very eloquent and you also come up with very quick responses and logic. I think you would be a good one to have this type of tables. You should give it a try.
Yeah, I think the prove me wrong idea is a great idea. And so, but hopefully when we get to Peoria.
Why don't you open a chapter of Turning Point USA?
Well, I'm branding everything under John Kitover Incorporated, and T-Rob's the Tourette N-word sufferer, Northern Irishman here on this app. He owns johnkitover.com, so he may end up becoming, a very wealthy individual one day.
Didn't he give it to you anymore?
He changed it and redirected it to johnforcongress.com, and I thank him for that. So.
Oh, he should feed it to you. What does he gain behind it?
I don't want it either. I don't want to own any domain names anymore. I don't want to own any domain names. I've owned domain names for like 30 years, and I could care less anymore because everything is just platform to platform. Your domain name as a platform is worth nothing. Your presence on all these social audio or all these social apps, X and Instagram, that's all that matters. YouTube, that's all that matters. Your website means nothing. Its platforms is what people are using, and you need to go where the people are at. So that's why everybody's abandoning domain names and focusing on their digital media assets and their handles, etc.
Issa, what's going on, Issa? How are you?
Who is this?
This is your replacement for Rico.
Whoa, pause.
This is
it's,
Mini Rico.
what's her name? Jesus Christ.
It's Alchemist.
Alchemist, yeah.
Yeah, Alchemist.
I thought that was Soren for a second.
So Chase Your Grace.
Alchemist.
Chase Your Grace, you work at UPS, you're a Bitcoin trader, you're a social media provocateur and content creator. If I were to give you $1 million, Chase Your Grace, give me your asset allocation on my $1 million. Thank you.
Do you have any crypto money you can donate to John for his campaign?
Possibly. John, what do you like? What do you support?
I support Bitcoin. I think it's the future of our currency in a way, or some other type of U.S. Issued crypto. And I think we will get there as a people, and we will utilize cryptological currency to prevent counterfeiting, because the U.S. dollar, the fake hundreds that come out of Peru, I don't know if you know that Peru is the largest creator of fake currency. So, and I think it's $1 trillion a year industry. So a way to technologically secure our currency, I think, is most likely in our future.
Are you running for president, John?
I'm running for Congress. And if we lose the congressional primary in March, we're running for the mayor of Chicago.
John the Congressman.
Yes, he is running for Congress. Where is crypto/Bitcoin in your program, John?
Well, it's all based out of the Treasury Department. And I think if I get into Congress, I'm going to impeach Maxine Waters, and I'm demanding a full audit of the Federal Reserve. And I want to know exactly what they're developing in terms of cryptocurrency. And I want full oversight and full transparency at the Federal Reserve.
And then you put me in charge of the Digital Assets Committee.
Correct. And Issa will be our secretary.
Oh, Daddy.
Yeah.
Honey, how are you?
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, honey.
Hello.
You know that I started doing soft Shabbat last week.
What, that you're gonna log off?
Yeah, from everything.
Nice. What, like books, people? What
Technology, social media, TV.
Yeah, what do you instead? I mean, read books. Okay, that's what I meant. Okay.
Yeah, I even opened my Bible last weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm thinking to dedicate that to Saturdays, you know. And I was thinking maybe I should do it on Sundays, you know, like Christian. But
well,
then it's like.
On Sunday everything is closed anyway, so you can kind of.
No, but the thing is that for me, Sunday is I cannot relax really on Sundays. Saturday is just perfect because it's like, okay, I just wake up super late or whatever, you know, like I just don't put my alarm clock.
Yeah.
Super late is like, I don't know, 8:30 or something like that.
What? That's super late?
Yeah. And then I just, because the next day I don't really have to do anything, so it's easier for me to really disconnect. Saturdays are the days that I really don't care about anything.
And because you always have Sunday afterwards to kind of catch up and.
Yes, Sundays my brain is already getting into like, okay, what do I have to do tomorrow mode?
Yeah, I get it.
So Saturday is perfect. Yeah, so I'm doing that. I went to church on Sunday.
What do you do there? Like what, you listen to mass or something like that?
Yeah, I went to mass.
Really?
And then I heard a group of people singing in an area of the church, and I went to see what they were doing. And they were singing the rosary. And I just praying the rosary or whatever.
I don't know.
And then I stayed there for a little bit. They were already finishing. And then I asked them, like, oh, do you do this every week and whatever? And they're like, and they were all in Spanish. And I'm like, oh, well, look, I found Spanish-speaking people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked them whether they did that like every week and whatever. Because I was thinking maybe I should go back to like a more like spiritual community, you know, and explore like the Catholic churches. So
it's not really spiritual though. It's religious, not necessarily spiritual.
Yeah, it's religious, but it's like maybe I can find people that are willing to have like these type of conversations, you know. And they're like, oh, why don't you join us for a coffee? And I'm like, okay, fine. And I went for a coffee with them. Sorry?
You went to church?
What?
Deism. That's what most of the founding fathers were.
Deists, yeah.
Deists.
Yeah, so I went with them for a coffee, and they were Spanish and some Latin Americans, and they were singing. What?
Were there Latinas there?
Yeah, there were Latinos and Latinas. There were also a couple of Spanish guys.
Were they dancing, Isas?
What?
Were they dancing?
No, it was like in a coffee shop, and so they're like a guitar, and they started singing, but it was not even like God songs. It was just like normal music, and it was super animated. I'm like, oh my god, this is great. And then I stayed there.
Latino.
Oh my god, you and your Matrix Android.
Hello.
Yeah, but it was great. I stayed there with them for like 2 hours. And then they started being very preachy, you know, like talking about Jesus and Joseph and why I should believe certain things, and I didn't like that push.
What I was saying is like Latinos and notorious are turning like a service into a party.
No, but this was out of the church.
Yeah, but like like even just like, oh, it's just an interaction. Let's make it fun.
Yeah. They were sitting at a coffee shop and they were singing.
Fuck yeah, dude! Like it's hilarious. So,
is he at the Matrix or am I
my
at the Matrix?
wife's family Catholic, and like they can't tell you about like their church and stuff. Like, how do you? Yeah, I'm in the Matrix. Sorry.
Can you please tap on the three dots on the top right and lower your volume quality to low? Adjust your volume quality to low, please. Because it's horrible. And then you can talk again.
Okay, this should be better.
Hopefully
No, I was saying that I was saying.
And I do not hope for a better world for anyone.
Like, whenever people describe to me Catholic services in like Latin America, it's like a trip to a club.
Don't be exaggerated.
I love Latinos.
A little.
Oh, you do? I think everybody does.
Not everybody, but me, yeah, I love Latinos. I'm going to Colombia in like 2 months. So.
Yeah, but not all Latinos are the same, okay? Just you have.
Well,
you're all created equal.
You're all bad.
Yeah, we're not all created equal.
What do you mean by that?
A lot of the Latinos that you get, and I don't want to sound like a classist, but I am a classist. The Latinos you get in the U.S. are like, let's say, low life. A lot of them, and very, I don't know, not highly educated, not, I don't know, the way they speak, everything.
It all depends on the country they come from.
No, it not always depends the country they come from. No, I think it's the quality of the immigration that you guys have. Because you have a lot of, hold on, let me explain my own people. Let me explain my people.
You're not your own people. You can't claim like every single person.
No, but I understand the culture very well, and I have been in the
US. Are you identitarian, Lisa?
What?
Are you an identitarian?
Yes, I am.
Oh shit, Simon?
No, I'm not. Anyway, thing is that I understand the culture very well, and the immigration you guys have got in the US is how do you call them, like financial migrants or whatever. So usually they are very like it might not sound nice, but yeah, they're low class. So they don't really have an education. You can see actually the way they speak, the Spanish they speak is like very rough. Also like the attitude, and the behavior and all of that is like not too classy, let's say. And so when people think of Latinas, I think that I don't know, like I don't like to be boxed with those kind of people. And because it's not everyone the same.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying not everyone is the same. It's people that don't know how to speak, don't know how to write, not well educated. I mean, and not even just about school, but also about like manners,
Yeah, so that's complete bullshit. Because
no,
like if you it is, and I'll explain it to you why. Because it all depends on the country that they come from and which wave of immigration they come from. So, for example, like if you look at the established Cuban families in Miami, they're all very highly educated. They're all doctors, lawyers, and professors and stuff. They have money. They ran away from the regime. They brought their wealth, and those were people, like highbrow people in the high society. Same goes for Venezuelans who escaped Chavez. Now, just by comparison, the Venezuelans, the wave of Venezuelans who came recently, like during the Maduro's already, that's a completely different class of people. So once again, the first wave was all about, it was people who were saving their money, who sold their businesses, they were entrepreneurial, they were very well educated. And then the second wave was much more, like the people who grew up in the the countryside, were farmers, and they were looking for labor jobs basically. So it all depends on which country, what.
Obviously, it also depends on the culture of the country and on the contextual stuff of the country. And yeah, you're right. So for example, in Cuba, none of them go out of Cuba with money. That's bullshit. But what you're right about Cuba is that they have got very good education. Like for example, doctors. There are very good doctors from Cuba, and once they're out, they make shitloads of money because the medical education
So to clarify,
very good now.
What years are you talking about when you talk about?
I'm talking, well, Cuba has been communist since the mid-50s, dude. So,
So did you hear what I said? I said Cuban
families
who
but
were well established who are third generation.
before. People didn't escape Cuba before. Even the ones that stayed in Cuba and immigrated and migrated to the U.S. in the 80s, in the 90s, they are also super well educated. Now, Venezuela, I do agree with you. The ones that could foresee what was going to be like in a communist country, they got out before they lost their money. And so, yeah, you got a lot of very wealthy families that got in the US or any other countries and they escaped communism. The ones that stayed got fucked up, and then when they were able to get out, I mean, like, that is a very different wave of immigrants. With Venezuela, I 100% agree with you. Now, then you have from other countries like Peru and Colombia, and like all of these other ones have got different cultures. You have Dominican Republic is usually a way, let's say, lower class type of Latin, compared to other countries. Might be because of the wealth of the country, might be because of their education system, might be because of the slang they use, or the culture, or the whatever it is. But they are, let's say, lower in terms of education and manners. So it depends. I agree on the country you come from, but also it depends within the country. Like, where are you from, and what is the motivation for your immigration? Like for example, I was not, let's say, I am not a financial immigrant, if you want to see it like that. I went out because of, I don't know, like my skills, whatever, they hired me out, and Guatemala doesn't have really like jobs for me. So I've been headhunted like in other countries, and that's how I have gone out. So it's different when you are living in a very little town where you don't have anything to eat, and then you have to go to USA and work, I don't know, as cleaner in a house, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely what you're saying does make sense, because I did have like a little thing with a Venezuelan, and she would tell me a lot of the things that you're saying now, that there's different, it's basically like there are some countries in Latin America that are like considered white trash, and then there's like upper class white people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, Argentinian immigrants, for example, or Colombian immigrants, they will have completely different background, and even if they, from both countries, they have economic immigrants who come here for work, it's different type of work that they will be coming, depending on the country that they're coming from, because the countries themselves, they have certain patterns that they produce certain type of professionals. Mexico, close by, over the border, the masons come in, the concrete people come in, the tilers come in. It's just labor, guys. Now you go.
Yeah, Mexico has different demographics,
right?
actually.
You go like something like Brazil. Yeah, it's like something like Brazil, Argentina. Those people, like engineers, doctors, financiers, bankers. It all depends. Saying that they all are educated.
No. I didn't say they all are, but the majority of people, or a very big part of the people that migrate to the US, do it for economic reasons. And when that is the case, you get people that are not highly educated, and that, because they come from lower classes of the society, they have different cultures culture, different manners. Like, yeah, it's lower class. I'm sorry, and yeah, in our country.
All you have to do is say a lot instead of all, and you would have adjusted.
I didn't say all. I didn't say all. I didn't. That is an absolutism. I never do that.
Play her the recording back. Play her the recording back. Do it.
Anyway, so yeah, and again, usually class and education. I don't mean that it has to do with wealth, but it has to do with like the background of your family, and the schools you go and how you.
Values. It has to do with values first and foremost.
Your social network and all of these type of stuff.
It has to do with values, like whatever family. It can be a poor family, but if their values are like hard work, education, moving to the next step in a society, they'll succeed. And if it's a fucking rich ass kid who is like, let's party,
it can be a small little brat, drug addict.
Yeah, and he's gonna be pauper poor within like 1 or 2 generations.
Yeah. Hey, Dave. Alchemist, are you there?
So did anybody watch Charlie Kirk's funeral where his wife, caressed his dead hands and cried and sobbed over his casket?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's not the funeral. Well, I don't know. I think the funeral. Well, is the funeral just like one day? I didn't understand that because they're not gonna bury him until Sunday.
I mean, I guess that was like the viewing room prior, or they have like a meeting, with the casket and the deceased.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was horrible. I wouldn't have posted that video.
Every time you see a dead body, it's always amazing how the color changes so significantly, and you can always detect it. There's nothing quite like it.
It's yellowish, right?
Yeah, I mean, funeral directors are supposed to put makeup on, but even when you put makeup on it, it's like, anyways. I'm just saying that, life and death are the ultimates. And the way I view, Charlie Kirk's assassination, it's like we have this psychosis index. And because of the internet and cell phones and programming and access to high-powered rifles, I mean, the only way to counteract this is with vigilant citizens. And the fact that some people filmed another motherfucker on a rooftop and we're just like, oh, hey, look at that guy up on that motherfucking roof, that rifle there, and they're at a Charlie Kirk event. Why the fuck those people aren't, hooting and hollering and disrupting the whole event? As soon as you see somebody on the roof, like, why isn't somebody screaming to stop the entire event and everyone run? So vigilant citizens who can detect evildoers and can prevent these tragedies prior to an actual shooting event. I mean, even the Pennsylvania with Trump, why that piece of shit got on the roof and there were people filming it, and why people didn't stop everything, shut the whole thing down. I mean, sometimes it takes the loudest person in the room or somebody at least with some command presence to, dictate the situation, because they're that effing loud. They disrupt congressional hearings all the time with, pink activists disrupting testimony and et cetera. So your voice matters. And, if you see something, say something.
Well, it's not a crime not to say anything.
Eat my favorite watermelon.
Yes, Chorizo, how are you? Stop defaming me in the chat.
Hey, my guy. Those people that saw that dude up with a rifle, when a bullet has your name, it has your fucking name, bro. You ain't getting away from that. That bullet has Kirk's name all over it. It's unfortunate.
I mean, we are all saying like, oh my God, Nate is gonna, but can you imagine? I bet that he was close to maybe being shot some other times, he might have gone out alive, you know. But I doubt that this was the first time.
Yeah, exactly. You know how many other instances these guys were set up? They just never had the chance to saw the clear shot. Like I said, that bullet had his name on it already.
Yeah, these guys must have tried already to kill him, but he was either lucky or it wasn't prevented or whatever. I doubt this was the first time they were after him. And I bet it's the same thing with the other guys, with Ben Shapiro's and Michael Knowles and yeah. But poor Charlie Kirk.
You know, I've been asking. I hate to get off topic. I've been asking Grok a lot of questions, and I gotta say, Grok is extremely woke, and it's unbelievable that you think it's gonna have like this ultra conservative bias or something, but it's not. Grok is extremely liberal in its opinions, but I think it's really because that's the source of all the information. I mean, it's just indexing the internet, and the internet is just full of woke opinions. But it's like very anti-American and anti-patriotic. But it does provide a great ability to do compressions and summaries and do extractions from larger documents. So it is a really useful tool in analyzing large amounts of information and taking compressed extracts from it.
Yeah, I still prefer ChatGPT, to be honest. I mean, for work at least, I would prefer ChatGPT. I think it's much better. I use Claude sometimes, but I think the features, even on a paid subscription, are very limited compared to what you can get with ChatGPT. So I might stop paying for it. Is Alchemist sitting on the phone? Alchemist, Dave came here to see you. What are you working on, Andre?
Okay, everybody, this is a campaign fundraising room for candidate John. That's me, the speaker here. If you're in this room, invite people to the room. Click that link above. If you meet the donation rules, send $5, $10, 10 not 10, not 9. And I promise I'm going to read you a poem which is going to awaken your kundalini in your tuchus all the way up to your pineal gland. It's called a poem, everybody. It's only 60 seconds of your day. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, 60 seconds of your time when you spent years here talking about nothing. 60 seconds of a refined poem is all I'm asking.
Speed and axe.
Okay, this is your poem. Democracy, daughters. Ferocious fascism, cackling communism, Woolly frauds cavort crazily all over Clubhouse. They are hemming us in. They are abortive births of the Clubhouse child. Liberty stirs once more in the womb of time. Evolution makes its changes by anti-socialistic ways. The abnormal Clubhouse man foresees the trend of the times and adapts circumstance intelligently, is laughed at, persecuted, kicked out of rooms, put in the goo, often destroyed by the Clubhouse herd. But he and his heirs, when the crisis comes, are survivors. Above us today on Clubhouse hangs a danger never yet paralleled in history. We suppress...
This is the reason why you kill your rooms, John. Okay, Alchemist, you're off the phone.
What's up? What's up?
Dave came here to see you.
Dave, what's good, man? How are you? I haven't been in the Bitcoin.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out if I want to be in a room with John or not. I just come here to see you, but it is good to see you.
Yeah, man, you too. Yeah, I haven't been in the
I'm a dangerous person.
Dangerous person for recording your never-ending Bitcoin rooms? Are you guys talking about nothing, Dave?
Why is he a dangerous person?
He's not mentally stable.
No, he is actually. And then he just plays like a crazy man in the
No, he's not mentally stable.
Have you heard his interview? He's running for Congress. He posted his interview link in the chat.
You know, David, it's a kingly thing to be evil spoken of. Are you projecting when you say I'm not mentally stable? Are you not mentally stable? He's doing it to me, son. This is my fundraiser room, Dave. How dare you come in here and insult me, sir? You're no gentleman. You're nothing but a Bitcoin pork chop.
Dave, you troll people all the time. Why are you gonna get upset with someone trolling?
Yeah, I haven't been in the Bitcoin rooms because every time I do, I get kicked and I get treated like a.
Who kicks you out?
Andrew kicks him out. He says he said perverted things about his children. He's so full of shit.
Did you?
What the fuck? No, I didn't do that. What the fuck?
What did you say about Andrew's children?
What the fuck is he talking about? No, I didn't. That's weird as hell. No, I did not. Andrew doesn't like me. I don't know why.
Why doesn't he like you, according to you?
He thinks I'm stupid, I think. So, I don't know. But he thinks I'm dumb. Okay?
Is he wrong?
Yeah, he is, but I don't know. Maybe I am. I have no clue. But I don't think so. He just doesn't have opinions. Yeah, I don't know. So I just haven't been going in. But yeah, Dave, it's good to talk to you, man. I'll be traveling out of the country very soon. So I'll be in Colombia, and then we'll see from there.
What are you gonna go do in Colombia? Are you gonna go find a wife?
That's not on the itinerary, but probably not. No, I just want to go somewhere else, and yeah, just enjoy another culture for a little bit, learn. I've been tuning up on my Spanish, so yeah, it should be fun.
How old are you, Alchemist?
Me, I'm 28.
Oh, you're a kid.
How old are you, Issa?
I am old as fuck.
How old are we talking?
Do I have to say?
No, you don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah, I am way older than you.
Older than Rico?
Rico who? Rico.
Tomas.
Rico Nakamoto? I don't know how old he is. Rico Bosco? Yes, a little
Bosco.
bit.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I was like 5 years old, I think. I don't remember. Do you get along with that faggot?
Rico?
Yeah.
I've been in arguments with him before. He usually just talks to me about altcoins and Bitcoin. He usually said, we get into like fun debates about crypto, but yeah, he's an alright dude. He's fine. He's never done anything to me. Yeah, he's never given me a reason not to like him.
Well, good for you. Good for him.
You can't say the same.
No. Not really. I got him blocked like 2 years ago. I haven't looked back 1 second.
Oh, 2 years ago? Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's been a long time. Time flies.
Yeah, it does. But yeah.
You know what he did to Issa, right?
Yeah, I do.
What did he do to me?
He made an honest woman out of you.
Exactly.
He took the last few years of fertility that you had and wasted it.
Hey, what are you implying? That I'm not fertile anymore?
I don't know. You said you're very old.
Yeah, well,
You did say that.
I'm not dry yet. but yeah, I'm old. But yeah, it was 2 years wasted with that faggot. Plus the other 2 of recovery, I also had to dedicate that to him. So that's 4.
Sounds like I can't trust your judgment.
Actually, that's right. I thought people could trust my judgment until I had that relationship. It was horrible. Now, before that, I was like, yeah, I know how to read people. You should trust my judgment. I know how to read people. Now I cannot say that anymore. Oh, well.
And that's why I don't trust John Kitover.
Well, it's a you problem, Dave. I'm running for Congress, so I've never heard you say anything intelligent on this app ever. So I don't know. You can click the link above and send me $10 if you want to, ask for forgiveness instead of slinging insults, Dave. And if you don't like my YouTube channel, that's again a you problem, because in the Bitcoin room, it's just a waste of time.
He's just a dirty politician, John is. He's another corrupt politician.
Yeah, getting voted in Congress would only make me distrust you more, John. So.
Well, actually, he's more sane than a lot of people in Congress.
That may be true, but that's like saying I'm smarter than a retard.
No, but honestly, I think that if you had spoken seriously with John, you would say that he is just a troll on Clubhouse.
I'm quite aware.
He's a very smart guy, and he knows what he's talking about. He's well read, well educated. He's very eloquent.
I've actually had a couple decent conversations with John, but I'm still skeptical of what he is willing to do.
You mean come on Clubhouse like you and everybody else, but record myself when I come on Clubhouse? Oh, wow, so radical. What a revolutionary idea to film yourself wasting time on Clownhouse.
you to authority.
Why?
Well, what happens if I say I fucking hate the government? And I don't want to pay my taxes and all that. And John takes that video and puts it online and as authorities.
Well, I like patriots.
Just saying that you don't think people should trans themselves is enough to get you shot.
So what you're saying is you want to protect your anonymity from being conservative. You're afraid to be publicly conservative.
I'm not that conservative, my friend.
So you don't want to pay your taxes. Oh, so you love the trannies and you hate paying taxes. Got it.
Oh, I hate the trannies and I don't want my taxes to pay for anything to do with them. I also don't want to pay taxes.
Well, you know, the truth is nobody wants to pay taxes.
More AMCAP than anything, and I think we had a good discussion about this at one point.
Listen, the city of Chicago just spent millions of dollars surveying 1,000 people to find out whether or not they want to pay more property taxes. We all know what you're saying, Dave. It's not fucking groundbreaking. Again, I'll submit, you've never said anything intelligent I've ever heard.
We did have one good conversation that got short once, but
I think Dave's a pretty intelligent guy. He just wants the government out of his life. Is there anything wrong with that?
No, that's intelligent. But go ahead, Dave. Say something else that's intelligent.
The drop in crime in the 90s might be more attributed to Roe versus Wade than the increased policing.
Okay, anything else intelligent, Dave? Because I am trying to gather intelligence on this app. So please say anything else intelligent. Thank you.
Actually, Dave's one of the smartest guys on the Bitcoin rooms.
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I'm sub 80 IQ.
He's smart, he's grounded, he is, he's got good values. And he also lives on a farm, which gives him extra points.
Oh, sorry if I was being rather insulting in the same way that you came in the room earlier and insulted me. I just like to, if somebody sticks a stick in my eye, I take that stick and I stick it back in their eye. I don't know. That's just my clubhouse presence.
You might enjoy it in more areas. Have you tried rough sex?
Oh, that's way more exciting than your Bitcoin rooms. People talking about going out, they got a Starbucks for their wife and this and that and everything else under the sun. But you guys basically have the Bitcoin chillism mind virus room. You know, Dave, the pathetic part is that you guys just don't even film it and post it. You know, that you guys just literally waste all your time talking about nothing.
It's a clubhouse, my guy. You know, maybe you never really got invited to one when you were a kid, but like, you know, a couple guys and you're shooting the shit and you're talking about stuff and nobody else can hear you. Like, imagine if when you're a kid, you know, hanging out in that clubhouse and somebody recorded it and then showed the whole school. It would have been like, no, we talk about stuff that other people don't get to hear.
You know what's interesting?
I realize it's the internet and anybody can record it.
Yeah, you're in a public space, in a public room, talking about nothing. People are going to record you guys being dummies. So the point is, do you realize that Google isn't even taking my stuff down because they know that citizen-on-citizen surveillance is ultimately the future of surveillance? It's not automated surveillance and automated police response or automated, you know, revenue investigator response. That's not true automation. What is going to happen is Americans are going to spy on Americans, and Canadians are. This is what's already happening. I'm just merely doing it publicly.
have to think about that. What do you think people will store this surveillance on? Everyone with cell phones store their surveillance?
No, it's all platforms. Citizens will spy on citizens and post it to the platform. That's what's already happening. Social justice equity is now. You can't expect it in the courts. The only way to get satisfaction is to dox. You're absolutely crazy if you think you can come on the internet now and be anonymous. It's utterly impossible. The digital footprint, you're just tied to whatever you communicate.
About this yesterday.
Oh, really? Well, it's now right now. Did you know now is a compression of yesterday? So, you know, I got a goldfish. What's the name of your goldfish?
What are you talking about, John?
Well, that's my point. What's this fucking guy talking about? Nothing.
Is this the way you try to gain voters? Because you're not doing a really good job.
No, this is a roast app. You didn't know that, Issa? You either get roasted yourself as the speaker or you roast other people. Welcome to the room, Buttercup, our next roast participant. We're going to turn her into melted butter and put that butter over Dave's steak right there. What do you think about that, Issa?
Have you ever watched a video, John, the Democracy Diner?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, it's on YouTube. You should go watch it. That's how I feel about voting.
Well, sometimes you're going to have breakthrough candidates.
I have voted. Generally, I avoid it.
Well, if you can meet a candidate who questions authority and thinks for himself, you know, and is nonviolent, that person can be your teacher. That person can be your leader. You know, I'm one of those individuals who can lead. I've led. I've been in the military. I've been an officer and a leader in the United States Army. I've been a leader in corporate America, digital communications. I know how to have a conversation without talking over people just like you, Dave. I'm an adult, not a child, Dave.
Did you get discharged from the military and what for?
I was medically discharged from the United States Army on Fort Huachuca, Arizona, while serving in active duty training, Dave. I was injured, Dave. I was injured, Dave. I was injured. Dave, I can talk all day, but you can click the link right now. Oh, you live in Canada. You can't contribute. That's a bummer, Dave. But anybody in America who's listening to this campaign message right now, go to johnforcongress.com or click that link above right now.
You're becoming annoying. Why were you discharged?
I told you I was medically discharged in August of 2020. I was medically discharged and I'm not finished speaking. Why are you yelling at me? And why do you keep cutting me off in my own fundraising room, Isa? Stop yelling at me, señorita, por favor. Háblame. Pasivo, por favor. No hablas inglés. Señorita, I'm not going to do your room if you're going to keep talking over me with Dave.
He's a mental.
This is a waste of my time if all you're going to do is...
I know it.
It's a waste of my time if all you're going to do is interrupt me and try to tell your answers to your questions.
You're like a faggot. Don't do that.
It's not me who's acting like a faggot. It's you and Dave who keep interrupting me, señorita.
Is that the reason you got discharged? Because you were crazy? Answer, John.
Let's just say I have a...
That's the reason.
Stop interrupting me and I will answer your question, señorita. Let's just say I have an oppositional defiance disorder to loud-mouthed women and stupid people, including stupid men. So I have what's called oppositional defiance disorder to stupid people who want to waste your time with stupid, irrelevant shit that is meaningless because of their egos, because of their big mouths and their know-it-all positions. And that's why I'm running to lead the 16th district. You can keep muting me all you want, senor, but this is my fundraising run for my campaign. Either click the link above and give $10 or hold your questions to the end, sir. Your questions will be answered. This is a public town hall. We don't need you interrupting the show, okay? We're filming this for YouTube. We have an audience on YouTube. This is a show for YouTube, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's work on your mental health. Did you want to kill the person who was in charge of you in the military that was a black female?
What an amazingly ridiculous assertion, sir. What kind of a statement is that?
I believe it was the assertion you made that got you discharged.
Where did you get this information from, sir?
Is it true?
Is it true? Say it again, Dave. Say it louder so everyone on YouTube can hear it.
Did you get discharged because you tried to what? A black woman that was your superior?
Wait, you tried to hook up with her? What do you?
No, he wanted to kill her.
Strangle her.
Oh my god.
I wanted to kill somebody in the military? Why would I want to kill somebody in the military?
Because she was black.
She was black! Wow! That's the whole story. Okay, good one, Issa. Oh, you're such a good journalist. You're going to go so far in the media world. I know you're such a great executive selling all your advertising space. But in terms of interviewing, you two really suck.
No, we're not doing an interview, but that's what Dave said. Is that true?
Interview. This is on YouTube, and we're fundraising here. You guys really suck at fundraising. Let me.
Okay, we'll prepare a proper interview room, but this one is not it, and we don't really have like a lot of audience. We need to do it earlier in the morning. But
discussed yesterday, but I have no faith in you, and I'm not putting all my chickens in your hat. So I don't
today.
care.
I didn't connect to Clubhouse until later today.
With the flow, I just move around and create content all day. I mean, I'm just saying, if you want to organize and actually be efficient in your communication, I'm
we
there
do it
to
on
help you
Monday.
guys. But if you want to
do it
play
on
the
Monday.
stupid game, I can play the stupid game too.
Oh my God, John! We can do it on Monday. The weekend doesn't work because not all the same people come over the weekend. Plus, I usually don't connect over weekends. So we can
Well,
do it
I
on
don't really
Monday.
care what your schedule is. Just send me the link whenever you want to help. Otherwise, keep all your questions to the end.
Okay, I'll send you a link on Monday at 12:30 my time, which is 6:30 Eastern time.
Any Americans who want to contribute to this campaign, click the link above.
What time do you have in Chicago? Is it Eastern?
17 p.m. Central Standard Time right now in Chicago.
No. What is your time zone? Is it Eastern, West?
If you had to vote for governor of Chicago or Illinois, would you pick John Kitover or Nick Fuentes, Issa?
Oh, John, 100%.
Oh my god.
Dave, 100% for
100%.
John Kitover. You know, Dave, you're nothing but a pessimistic, negative person. I don't appreciate your low vibration. You need to work on bringing your A game to all these rooms and bringing your positive vibrations. You're so negative, Dave. Jesus Christ. I got to start going to church because Clubhouse is full of toxic people like you. I need to focus on positivity in my life.
I hope you don't want to kill me like you wanted to kill your superior in the army. Because you couldn't handle the fact that a woman was stronger and better than you.
Really?
A
Was
black
better and
woman.
stronger than me. She wasn't a DEI hired, Dave. Okay, Dave. Whatever you say.
Do you have any evidence that she was a DEI hire?
Hey, do you have any evidence that you're even alive, you little beta cuck? I am alive, breathing, and running for Congress. I don't care about the past anymore, stupid. I have achieved a higher state of consciousness, and we are going to become the congressional representative of the 16th district. So you can say all you want about the past, but it doesn't affect me in the now. So take your buttered little pork chop, your stupid little Bitcoin, your stupid little farm in Canada, and the fact that you don't pay taxes and you love the trans is all I need to know about you, Dave. So shut the fuck up and eat your steak, you little bitch.
Come over and say that. Come on over and say that, John.
And I will bring with me a pair of leather gloves. I will slap you in the face, sir, because you're no gentleman. And I will challenge you to a duel.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yo, don't ankle pick you, John.
Leather gloves to slap you in the face with one of them like a gentleman.
I fuck more than you. I can fight better than you. I have more money than you. I'm more stable than you. My wife's hotter than anything you've ever been with. I have 4 children. My company has shareholders. Your company doesn't even have cup holders, my guy.
Congress, I'm going to impose tariffs and taxation and have the IRS raid your fucking home and office, Dave, and we will see who has more power then, Dave.
I have more guns than you. You're probably not even
Do you own any guns, John?
Got lots of weapons to defend myself, but only a fool would declare his arsenal.
Do you have any?
It's not.
No, only a fool would declare his whole arsenal.
I am going to have a criminal tax investigator from the IRS kick your fucking door in, Dave, and we are going to tax the shit out of you because you're nothing but an unpatriotic little bitch. So if you haven't given $10 yet to this campaign, click that link above. This is entertaining content, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to hear any other exclusive content like this in other rooms, just in the itty-bitty titty committee put on by the ESL room leader, Isabella, an advertising account executive working with a syndicate of Arab terrorists to put advertisements at their events digitally real time.
You are mentally unstable sometimes.
This is called comedy. People don't know art when they see it because they're such bad critics. This is called artwork, Issa. I am a comedian, an actor, a filmmaker, a politician, a veteran. Sorry if I'm everything, but some people like to have fun. And I am most likely going to get on that ballot in March, and it will establish my credibility as a politician. So, Dave, you can keep running your loser fucking Bitcoin rooms 9 hours a day, 40 hours a week. I don't care. I will film it and put it on YouTube because I think that that's where the value is. In putting you in a catalog library where you belong, you silly little bitch.
Get on a ballot as, and that's credibility.
The March 17th primary, Dave, and I bet you your wife isn't very hot, and I bet you don't even have more money than me. So take your bullshit, Dave, back to your fucking Bitcoin room, bitch.
She is hot, and his children are actually very, very beautiful children.
I'm sure he's living such a perfect life, but this faggot, as you called me earlier, Issa, is on Bitcoin rooms 40 hours a week. He must hate his fucking life. He's pathetic. Do something with yourself, you silly little bitch.
And there goes your fundraising.
You're too much of a coward to run for office yourself, Dave. You're such a little beta cock.
Why would he run for office? Congressman, chill. Why would he run for office when he doesn't believe in the government?
He's a hypocrite and a traitor.
Why would he be a traitor? He doesn't want the government in his life, so why would he be one of them?
A traitor implies that at some point I was compliant and accepted
or the Declaration of Independence.
What? You need to stop yelling. Just speak normal, John.
It's called the laws, Issa. You should read a book sometime. Dave here doesn't read.
Why can't you just be the blood of the patriot that is required from time to time? Why do you have to come on here and do this?
Stupid. It's called reading a book, stupid. Some of us use programs and coding and intelligence to make informed decisions instead of the blood of the patriot.
you're getting annoying right now. Please, just.
Yeah, this fundraiser room is complete, in my opinion. I'm ready to get kicked.
Don't.
It's your show. If you don't like me as a person, or how I sound, or how I'm mocking
like
people
you as a
in this room,
person.
do I need to remind you this is a fucking roast app? And the longer you spend time talking here, the bigger the fucking hypocrite you become, because it's a waste of fucking time. It's all on YouTube. It's all being recorded. It's a show. It's a comedy show. I think I'm the only one laughing here.
All right, but I'm okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I mean, look, when you do not on Simran, right? Saying that right? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Like, right. So when that purifies your mind and gives you
Making a complaint about something that his estate has in a fucking book that has been proven that